fun event because we are in the chill garden, so we're going to chill out and literally try out the exact thing that he's going to present you today, and heal himself and many people with this kind of herbal, true medicine. I would call them, I used to refer to this as a pharmacy of God. So come and listen a little bit about true medicine and pharmacy of God and how we can change our states of mind and body by these. Thank you. The presentation will be held in Hungarian and translated to English.
Thank you.
Those that want to hear more about the true medicine and how God help us, well, God, but you call it, no, not God, guys, not God, hey, plants, okay, like cannabis, okay? So today we talk about the healing effect of cannabis, but not the smoke, but the oil. Hey, not the, they misunderstood me. Anyway, let's start.
Mindenkit köszöntök, hát Katinkát nem is lehet felülmúlni. Próbálok egy pár dolgot mondani, de le vagyok nyűgözve.
I welcome everybody, and I cannot tell more than what Katinka just said, so I'm very happy.
Tehát a mai téma, amire fölkértek, az a gyógyítás, természetes gyógyítás medicinával. Ez eredeti értelemben elmondom, hogy mit jelent.
Köszönöm rövidebben, mert mindig akkor mondom. So today what I've been asked to talk about, it's the original meaning of medicine.
És hát csapjunk is bele.
And let's start. Jump right in.
Tehát az 5000 éves orvostudomány írott múltja szerint a medicina legjobban egy kínai írásjellel fejezhető ki.
So it's about a 5,000-year-old, if we gather the last 5,000-year knowledge of medicine, then the easiest way I can show you what does that really is, medicine. I could show you the Chinese sign here. I hope you see that, guys. If not, later on you can all get the whole presentation, and please bring that knowledge on.
Az írásjel neve...
Yeah?
Bocsánat.
I just said that, so this sign that you see here, it's a Chinese sign that refers to medicine.
Igen, az írásjel maga a Dao, így hívják. Ez van orvosság, illetve medicina néven megjelölve, és a mellette ott a zene, ami alig különbözik.
Megköszönöm, ha tudsz egy kicsit röviden, okay. Nagyon elfeleltem az elejére, amire a végére érsz.
Bocsánat.
Tehát itt fél mondatokkal, jó?
Jó, akkor tehát maga az írásjel neve Dao.
Az írás, so the name of the sign of the Chinese symbols is Dao.
Igen, látjuk, alig különbözik a zene írásjelétől.
We can see that it's hardly different from music, the Dao of music.
Ami fölötte van, az gyakorlatilag a gyógynövénynek a jele.
And what we see above, so that's music, the symbol of music in the Chinese, that's music, which is from two signs, but he will say later. And what we see above, this little line with its two, that is referred to plants. So music or frequency and plants means medicine.
Igen, és ezek szerint a medicina eredeti jelentése az a gyógynövények, illetve ásványi kincs, a zene és a boldogság, illetve az örömmel kezdődő lelkiállapot együttesen.
So that means that what we see here, the two signs of music, it's from two different signs, symbols, if you put it together, that is happiness, this one. Ez a boldogság.
Közepén.
So that is happiness, There is frequency or music and ez pedig
Az már egyben van, tehát ott már
so,
nincs ilyen különbség.
so we could look in more deep into this, but happiness, the music, frequency, that's what we refer as music or frequency, and then we got with the plant, we got the medicine.
És tulajdonképpen a régiek gyógyművészete az elsősorban egy örömteli, kiegyensúlyozott életet célzott meg. Bocsánat.
So the old times, so when people had knowledge, like real knowledge, they knew that it was an art to be healed or healing others. That was an art, and it was based on happiness. So find the quickest way to people to get happy again, so then they can heal themselves.
És tulajdonképpen ez egy nagyon komoly bölcsesség, mert ahhoz, hogy valaki meggyógyuljon, ahhoz a kedélyállapotát is meg kell javítani.
That's a very important and very serious issue, that before somebody can heal from any kinds of states, he or she needs to be first feel balanced, feel happy again, or at least satisfied again.
És tulajdonképpen ha már valakinek a hangulata megromlik, akkor most ezt úgy mondjuk, hogy megelőzésképpen már akkor törekedni kell arra, hogy ezt helyreállítsa, és akkor elkerülheti a betegségeket.
In fact, when you have an imbalanced state, you should start feeling you have a physical issue, physical symptoms. The first thing you can work on, it's your emotional state.
Igen, hát nagyon köszönöm, ennek jobban nem ismerhetett volna fölvezetni, és most elmondom, hogy mi van 100 éve.
Now I want to share a little bit with you about what is going on the last 100 years.
Tehát van egy ősi rítus, ami úgy mondanám, hogy a bűnbakra rávetített bűnök, ártalmak, betegségek, panaszok, mindenféle kiűzésével egy ősi rítussal próbáltak megszabadulni az emberek évezredek óta a saját problémájuktól.
In the last 100 years, so prior to that, people thought that illness it's a negative effect that we have to get out from the body, get out from ourselves. So medicine, the last 100 years, people figured out, okay, we need to take care something against these negative things, and we focused on the negative rather than doing something for something. So also the meaning in Hungarian, we call doctors, we have a word for it, orvos, which means scapegoat, poison, and these kind of things. It's very funny that even Hungarians don't know that, because since we are children, we've been taught we have to go to the orvos to get healed. So the little kids, we understood that orvos is something to help us heal. So we didn't ever think about the meaning of the word. We get like orvos, or we use it for the people who shoot animals, you know, shoot, that they don't have the right to shoot those animals. They are orvvadász. Vadász means shooter. So that's funny, isn't it? And we have, and we talk about every day serious old people. Bocsánat, hogy elmentem, csak magyarázom az orvos szót. Elmondja, befejezetem, vagy ne haragudj, csak hozzáadtam azt, hogy... So we go to the old people, they have cancer, for example. And even they go to the orvos as the person who doesn't have the right to do what he's doing. Nobody gave them the right to, by the true meaning of orvos. And they still do it, and they go and they talk about it every day. I go to the orvos and he told me this and that, to do this and that. And they don't even question it, because we've been learned from childhood that orvos is the ones, or doctors is the ones that help us to heal, and they know we don't know.
Igen, ez egyébként nagyon fontos hozzátétel volt, mert a filozófiában létezik egy fogalom, ez a farmakon.
That's a very, he said that what Katinka added to my story, that was very important, because there is a word in the philosophy, what doctors learn, is called pharmakon.
A farmakon szó szerint azt jelenti, hogy gyógyszer, méreg, bűnbak. Ez a három együttesen.
If you look into the Latin meaning of pharma, pharmacology, pharmaceuticals, pharma, big pharma, the head of it. Pharma means look into that please and bring that knowledge wherever you go in the world. Poison, scapegoat, medicine. That's pharma, yes, the meaning.
És ha ma megnézzük, hogy tulajdonképpen kinevezünk bűnbakokat, például magas koleszterin, magas vérnyomás, és ezt kezdjük el kezelni, nem a beteget.
So what pharma used to do in the past, find scapegoats as symptoms, like this symptom is the responsible, that symptom is a scapegoat, that symptom is a scapegoat, which means that's the guilt. So the guilt is the problem, is the symptom. So what pharmacology does, and it always, is to try to get rid of a symptom. That's all what a doctor can do for you, or for us, or any one of us, to get rid of your symptoms that you go there and you're not happy about, and you say, please help me to get rid of my symptom, and the doctor can help you to get rid of your symptoms, or want to.
És amit használunk, és gyógyszernek nevezünk, az gyakorlatilag minden esetben méreg.
And what we use, and we think it helps us because we want to get rid of our symptoms, we call them pharmaceuticals, and it's almost all the case, it's a kind of a poison.
Tehát, hogyha megnézzünk egy gyógyszer ismertetőt, akkor rendkívül hosszú a mellékhatások listája, amíg a hatás alig pásol.
Please check out any lists, any pharmaceuticals, the list of the things that it can cause you because it's a poison, and check out what the good thing can happen if you take it. But there's a sentence, might happen. So the good thing might happen to you, the bad list might happen to you too. And please put it on a balance.
És amit ugye le se írnak, de a legújabb kutatások az endokannabinoid rendszer kapcsán mutatták, hogy az endokannabinoid rendszert mindig károsítják a külsődlegesen bevitt vegyi anyagok, tehát a gyógyszerek. Igen, akkor erre vissza fogunk térni, ezt csak közbe akartam szúrni, de megelőztem a következő diát. Itt még csak annyit szeretnék, hogy egy poén, de igazán elég keserves dolog, hogy ugye a drogbárokat azt mindenki elítéli úgy élből, de gyakorlatilag a farmakartel a világ legnagyobb drogkereskedelmi kartelje.
I would be not very, how to say, so it's very dodgy what I'm going to say, I mean what he just said, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I try to be brave to say it, because I'm afraid, you know, a little bit. So, but when some people say the truth, it's not. Some people don't want to hear it, especially don't want other people to hear it anywhere later. But anyway, I try to be brave, breathe. So what he said is that the pharma cartel, the history of pharmacy and everything, so the big pharma, because when we look at the drug dealers, right, those who sell drugs, they go straight to prison, right, because they sell drugs which are, we know, or we have been told so, that drugs are bad to us because they do a lot of bad things, may harm you, so we click immediately the bad guys, those are the bad guys, the drug dealers, so they have to go straight to prison. But what about those drug sellers and drug dealers and drug educators who educated us since our childhood and everybody, and they had been educated to sell us drugs, poisons, officially. So who are the biggest drug dealer on planet Earth? The big pharma.
Egyébként, aki kéri a prezentációt, a kép is egy linkre mutat, ahol ez részletesen le van írva hiteles adatokkal, egészen megdöbbentő, és tulajdonképpen... Bocsánat. Tehát, hogyha valaki kéri a prezentációt, a képre kattintva egy cikk jelenik meg, ahol ez részletesen le van írva.
If anyone would like to get the presentation, I'm happy to send to anyone or any of you, send it on, because you can click on it and get an article where you can look deeper into that topic and see the rights and everything, how it is really human rights, okay? So not created rights, but real human rights side. And I don't know if you can read, elolvashatom, mert nem látják. So what he wrote here, that behind the pharmaceutical principles lies a sacrificial rite dating back thousands of years in which the scapegoat was sacrificed for their purification. The ambiguous meaning of a change agent is that it can be a medicine or a poison.
Thank you. Igen, tehát ide kapcsolódik az én személyes történetem is, mert hát tulajdonképpen orvosként én is lépre mentem.
The thing is, because I'm a doctor, you can imagine I went through that journey myself.
13 éve egy elég komoly lelki válságba kerültem, ami több évig tartott.
About 13 years ago, I got to a very serious, hard time of my life, real crisis, when
ennek következtében megbetegedtem, ez 9 éve történt, és onnantól van egy kálvária az életemben.
When about 3 years time, I had such a bad mental states, and that I got to a physical illness 9 years ago, which since that time I have that chronic disease.
Limfomás lettem, amire elfogadtam a kemoterápiás kezelést.
So I get a lymphoma, which is the glands in the body start to be bigger and bigger. And of course, because I'm a doctor and I know how it has to be treated, I went straight to chemotherapy. Chemotherapy.
Ha nem lenne kannabinoid medicina, már nem élnék.
But if there won't be cannabidoidal medicine, I won't be here talking to you today.
Ennek már 7 éve, hogy sikerült eljutnom Kolumbiába.
It was about 7 years ago when I managed to get to Colombia.
Ahol valóban a legjobb fajta kezelésben volt részem.
Which I truly had the most real experience of what healing is, or what healers are.
Napi 2 marék fájdalomcsillapítót szedtem, többfélét.
Before I was taken 2 handful of pharmaceuticals for my pains, 2 handful every day.
Külön engedélyt kellett kérni, hogy a vámon átjusson.
When I wanted to go to Colombia with my drugs that official, I had to ask a special request that I can go through the borders with all those kind of pharmaceuticals in my bag.
1 hónap alatt megszabadultam mindegyiktől a kannabinoid kezelés hatására.
About a month, only a month, like 30 days, I got rid of all of them, all the 2 handful of dozen of pharmaceuticals.
És tulajdonképpen ekkor köteleződtem el, hogy az ebben rejlő potenciált és az ehhez tartozó szemléletet hirdetni fogom.
So that was the moment that I knew, or I decided that I wanna people know about a little bit about the power of a plant which called cannabis.
És akkor én már 25 éve, sőt, hát mire megbetegedtem és Kolumbián jutottam, már 30 év is eltelt, hogy különféle természetes gyógymódokkal praktizáltam.
I would like to warn you that since when I get to Colombia, I already had 3 decades of practicing healing and as a medical doctor.
Az egyik ilyen irányzat, vagy hát tulajdonképpen életművészet, az az Ayurveda.
One of those biggest foundings of what I found in the medical era, it's Ayurveda, Ayurvedic medicine.
És az Ayurveda az egy egészségtudomány. Tehát van egészségkép.
Ayurveda is not about treating illnesses, it's not about treating symptoms, it's not about against something, it's for health. It's a picture of a healthy person, a healthy body, a healthy soul and spirit. What a healthy spirit, soul and body look like. So Ayurveda, it's a healthy picture of spirit, soul and body.
És úgy tartják, hogy Sampraptinak hívják egyébként ezt az alapállapotot.
They call this balanced state of spirit, soul and body Samprapti.
Ami egy több fázison keresztül jutunk el oda, hogy betegségről beszélhessünk.
which goes through different phases, so states. We have to go through those states to when we talk about illness or we talk about health. So we lose our health and we go back to that state which we call health.
Az Ayurvéda 5 fázist különböztet meg, mielőtt a mi diagnosztikus medicinánk egyet meg tud nevezni.
Bocsi, mielőtt tovább megyünk, megkérhetem az urat, hogy segítsen ide földobni valamit, mert semmit nem lát a közönség abból, amit itt figyelünk. Nem kell fölmenni, de akkor itt nem rakunk oda valamit fölfelé, mert nem látjuk. I'm just asking the technicians that we asked before we came here to make sure they cover this hole so you can see, guys, what we want to show you. And can you help us, please? Some of you? There's a man there. Can you please help us? Thank you so much, because you won't see anything. And we would like to share a little bit more. So if you could put here is that piece of megfogott létszínfeli. Bethany, segítség, megoldjuk magunk. Meg rászórakoztatóbb lesz az előadás. Segítetek? Köszi. Thank you so much. Csak onnantól kéne fűzni valahogy. We need some help. Some more help. If you want to see it, then thank you for your patience. I think it's worth it. Thank you so much. What's your name? I think I'm going to gift him with or I will ask Frank if we can gift him with a bottle of oil, because what we're talking about is not cannabis to smoke, but something that we can. So cannabis is a very misunderstood plant. Until they do this, I try to share some of the information that I have about that. That when we talk about plant medicine, we think we know what we're talking about. We have a picture about what cannabis used to be used for. So many people use that idea that we have in our head about cannabis against us because they want us to believe that if you smoke cannabis, then you get healed. Well, that's not true. I'm sorry for those that are believe that in so far. That can help you to increase your the state of happiness for a short amount of time. So that can help a little bit to get your emotional state. So that can help you a little bit to lift your emotional state. So for some people, in some cases, can help a little bit time to time. But of course, if you use it that way, because cannabis has many different species, okay? Maybe you didn't know that, but there's lots of different species of all plant medicine. And one of the species, people used to smoke, or there's some species that they used to smoke, has a very high THC level, that's why they got that great state, because it affects a lot our nerve system and immediately directly goes to that CB1 receptor, which we want to talk, maybe we won't later on. But CB1 receptor is the one that caused everybody, all of you, that cool state when somebody ever tried marijuana or cannabis to smoke. But so it can help you a little bit time to time to raise your emotional state, but of course if you're used to it, then you are dependent on that thing to do it on and on to get to that higher state, and this is not health. Because if you need something to use it on and on and on and on to get to a higher emotional state, it's a dependence, which is not a healthy soul, spirit and body state. So it doesn't mean that it cannot help you in a certain stage of your healing. But if you're continually depending on using it to get a better state, it means you're still not there to be healthy, but you are or could be on your way. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Ross.
Where are you from?
England.
England. Ross is from England. Please give me an applause that he helped us, you guys, to see what we want to share with you. And I would like to gift you my bottle of oil, which we just bring here to you guys to try out. So while we are talking, we would like to share with you what we're talking about, to have a straight experience of one of those. You can find many different ones on the market, so I'm not saying use this one, he just said that this is what he used to get healed from his state of cancer, and that's why he's here today, so that's all. And I hope we will talk more about that later on. What's the difference between this and all the things that you find on the market, and why it's totally different? And it's mine because he gave it to me. He said, Katinka, you know, you can keep the rest what the people doesn't use. I said, okay, but now I want to give you because you helped us to see. So thank you so much. And please give it on just for a trial. Everybody can get a shot or two to try out. It's for focus. And what we're talking about, you can experience it at the same time.
Nagyon köszönöm.
Thank you.
Tehát jobban látjuk,
You see a little bit better maybe.
a mi medicinánk csak itt kezd beavatkozni.
So this is the point from the 5 stage when our medicine start to work. It's the last stage, az utolsó, ugye?
Igen.
So that is, doctors and medical doctors can help only the last stage of healing.
Erre vannak diagnózisai.
That's what we have diagnostics. So diagnostics, it's only diagnosis the symptoms, and symptoms we need only the last phase of healing.
És a világban minden egészségtudomány, a mongol, tibeti, kínai, a tahiti, a magyar népgyógyászat mind egészségtudomány.
So from Tahiti to Hungary and everywhere, so we can call it one name like health science. All kinds of different, all kinds of nations has their own health science traditions.
Szemléletében ez azt jelenti, hogy ezek a fajta megközelítések folyamatban gondolkoznak, nem állapotokban.
Whichever nation you look into, your nation, the English people, and the Celtic knowledge about healing, because the English people had the Celtic knowledge right behind, or if you see the Latin or any kinds of root medical process, it's always thinking process, never in illnesses or symptoms. They always look at the process the person is in.
És ugye ez a folyamat a fogantatásunktól a halálunkig egy egységes rendszert képvisel.
And this is a system that when we were born here to the end of the moment we leave this body, our soul in that journey, it's a continuous process.
És ebben mesterségesen ilyen állapotokat fixálunk, amiket diagnózisokkal jelzünk.
So illness, the definition of illness, in that process of life, we take out a state, a picture of a certain moment of time of, what's your name? Ross, for example. I'm sorry to take it on you now. So let's take Ross, and Ross is here now in a certain state, and if I'm going to check his blood, or testing him and diagnose him, I might find some stuff that are not that right. So I can say, oh Ross, you know, your blood pressure a little bit, sometimes like higher than the normal. Who says what's normal? Oh, the doctor says. Where did he learn it? Oh, the pharmaceutical industry. You haven't been there, but we just talked about what pharmaceutical industry is about. What's the difference between natural medicine and today alternative medicine, which is so-called pharmaceutical medicine. So if you test Ross, then we're going to take a moment of his life and saying, oh, there's an illness, there's a sickness, there's a symptom, there's this and that. But maybe if you check him a month later when he had a beautiful time with his beautiful wife or girlfriend and had a beautiful holiday together, and he came back and we checked his blood, guess what? He might already have no symptoms or diagnosed certain things because his emotional state changes. So illness is a picture, it's a state, and we should not ever tell to anyone that you have an illness. You don't have an illness, you in a state at that moment.
Tehát, hogyha összefoglaljuk, akkor az egészségnek vannak szempontjai, ilyen a stabilitás.
So when we see health, we have a criteria for health. We can see what health is. Health is stable. This is one of the main things. Health is flexible. So there's a certain time I can still be healthy and have sometimes a bit higher blood pressure. I can still be totally healthy and still have sometimes a higher sugar pressure. I can still be healthy and have sometimes stomach issue or on and back to the state of balance. Health also refers to joy, satisfaction, so I'm satisfied, I'm happy, I'm joyful. So anytime you feel that you're joyful, you're satisfied, you're happy, and someone want to tell you that you are ill, please don't listen. Because your body knows what he has to do, and if you are well and you keep yourself well, it will do the job. That's why it has been created. The fourth is an enhancement of special abilities. That's also, so the highest state of health, which hardly ever any of us experience, I did, he did, maybe some of you did, they are special abilities that we can grow within ourselves, which means our spirit or our soul, when they are healthy, they live accordingly what they know or have. So your soul, your spirit can have, or most of us has, special abilities. For example, telepathy, which is not special, but we think so. Or you can heal others from distance, which is not special, but your soul can do it when your soul is healthy. When your soul is not healthy, it forgot who he is or she is, and forgot the abilities that he owns. Same with spirit. Spirit can be not healthy. When spirit is healthy, you have amazing special abilities, because spirit has amazing special abilities. But if we've been taught we're not spirit, if we've been told we're not soul, if we've been told we are a body, forget the highest state of health, which can conclude special abilities.
És ez nem áll távol tőlünk sem, hiszen a gyerekeink, a kisgyerekek pontosan rendelkeznek ezekkel a képességekkel.
And what's funny is all of us, when we were children, and our children naturally have all those abilities.
És amit nem szoktak hangsúlyozni, de nagyon ide tartozik, hogy aki egészséges, elégedett az életével, az a jóra törekszik. Tehát tulajdonképpen megváltozhatna a világunk, hogyha az egészséget építenénk.
And what nobody talks about, when someone is healthy, when you are healthy, you naturally want the best of you. You naturally want to support the best in others. You naturally see the best in everybody, and you do the best you can, and you encourage all your surrounding also, by example, be the best of what your soul, as a soul or a spirit you are.
Szóval azt lássuk be, hogy ezt...
So our word can be totally different. Második részen mondták. So our word would be totally different if we would know what health is, if we would take the responsibility for our spirit, soul and body health. We would remember who we are, our word would be totally different.
És ez az, amit gyakorlatilag elvesztettünk. Tehát elvesztettük a célt.
We just missed the point.
És hogyha arra törekszünk, hogy felismerjük, hogy ez a célunk, ez a valódi célunk, és elkezdjük követni ezt az utat, abban...
Okay. So once we realize that this is our true task, to follow that path, to remember who I am, as a soul, as a spirit, and get healthy as a soul, as a spirit, as a body, then...
Akkor nagy segítséget jelentenek a kenderből készült kivonatok.
The many plants can help us to reach that state. I'm sure you heard that sentence that nature has a solution or a response for everything. One of that response, one of that solution can be one of those plants. There's many plants that can help you on the journey. This is what I'm working with. So I'm working with the Pharmacy of God. He's working with also the Pharmacy of God. He's working with the CBD oil. I'm working with 100 different oils, different plant oils from Earth. So CBD oil is one of those solutions.
Igen, hát ahogy Katinka mondta, nagyon sok gyógynövény van, és ebből nagyon sok jóféle olaj meg egyéb kivonat készül. Én a kenderről beszélek most.
Yes, so there's many different herbs, but today we talk about cannabis.
És ezzel kapcsolatosan kutatásokat is végeztem.
because I've been healed, I also started as a doctor. I started to make my own research more on the topic. What helped me in 30 days to get rid of cancer.
És aki nincs nagyon lerobbant állapotban,
And those that are not really in a bad state of their non-health state.
annak 3 hónap elég ahhoz,
So if they are not so bad, then they only need 3 months
hogy a stabilitását 70% fölé
to
emeljük,
get back the stability about 70%, above 70%,
és a tűzelemet az élre toljuk az őselemek hierarchiájában.
and to reach, so get fire as an element in the body and the spirit and the soul, because when you are sick, I just want to explain, the fire in you goes really down. That element is like just little, and more you sick or more you feel bad, smaller your light is, smaller your fire is in your heart. And what we do, and CBD can do for you, for example, let's start to increase the light in you, the fire element in your soul, spirit and body.
És ennek a hátterében egy 30 éve felfedezett rendszer áll, ami bennünk véd minket.
And behind the scenes, if you go a little bit about the research, I want to share some of my findings with you.
Ez a rendszer az endokannabinoid rendszer.
This system that we refer to when we talk about the in the body, it's called in our body the endocannabinoid system.
Kezdetben egy nagyon sablonos képet alkottak róla, mára ez jóval differenciáltabb.
When researchers or doctors first found that fact that we have a internal cannabinoid system, which is called endocannabinoid system.
És ez a mostani képben az látszik, hogy
It's changed a lot during the years as the research went on.
hogy itt nem egyszerű hatásról van szó, hanem kiváltott válaszról.
First we thought it's an effect that these plants cause in the body, then it turned out it's not an effect, it's actually something that the body already has and creates. And it's only,
Kiváltott válasz.
but it's a response from our endocannabinoid system for the plants.
Úgy kell elképzelni, hogy ez egy intelligencia.
This is, if you want to imagine it, it's a kind of an intelligence.
Tehát ha megszólítjuk, akkor ő neki önálló válasza lesz. Nem reflex lesz rá.
So when we do something with that endocannabinoid system in our body, it's itself in an intelligence and going to respond, not react.
És ez a válasz lényegében a belső egyensúlyunkat magas szintre akarja visszaállítani.
And the only reason we have that endocannabinoid system is to raise our balance, the highest state possible. So to have the biggest or the largest balance we can have at a certain time and moment of time.
És az az érdekes, hogy korábban azt hittük, hogy ez a rendszer akkor károsodik, ha már megbetegedtünk.
Before, we thought that this system only get harmed when we started to get sick or ill, we started to have physical symptoms.
Most arra úgy látszik, hogy ez a rendszer előbb betegszik meg, és ettől romlik le a
What's
szervezetünk.
amazing, what we found, that the truth is the system, our endocannabinoid system, which is responsible for balance in the body, gets first not so good, so less and less balance. It can create less and less balance in the hormonal system, in all the different systems of the body. So the endocannabinoid system, the internal cannabinoid system, is the one who is responsible for all states of balance. So blood pressure, everything what is matter of balance. And what we found that this is the first system which start to get loosen the ability to create balance in all the system in the body. And then we got sick. So not when we got sick, we get less balance in certain things. But first we lose balance, and then we got sick.
Tehát előbb leszünk instabilak, ahogy ezt az Ayurvéda is tanítja, és annak következtében egyre több minden károsodik bennünk.
So first we start to get not so stable, so unstable, and then we start to get harmed in our different body systems. At first we're losing the stability, more and more emotional stability, mental stability,
and then only then we get to physical instability.
És ha helyre akarjuk állítani a stabilitásunkat, akkor olyan módszereket kell alkalmazni, ami nem károsítja ezt a rendszert.
So when we talk about that we have a physical symptom or physical illness, and we want to help and recreate the state of balance, the state of stability in our physical body, whatever symptoms we talk about, whatever imbalance we're talking about, whatever field of medicine, medical field, whatever problem we have, the first thing we have to do is to help the internal cannabidiol system, which is responsible for balance in the body, to get a better state.
És
Ayurvedic medicine also teach that first we have to get in a better state, then we can get healed, and only the last phase is to treat the symptoms. But most of the symptoms go away during that process of get in a better state of mind, body and spirit.
És ugyanez érvényes nem csak a testünkre, hanem a érzelmeinkre és a szellemi, mentális működésünkre is.
So whatever you talk about the body, when you go to the doctor and you hear about the physical body, it's everything truth in every level, but there's only three levels of life wherever you look into, not only yourself. It's always the physical side, the energetic or the emotional side, and the spiritual or the spirit side. So all three levels, whatever we're talking about, it's true in every single level.
Tehát mindenféle negatív érzés és gondolat is károsítja az endokannabinoid rendszer magas szintű működését.
So when we have any negative thoughts or negative emotions, they are as poisonous as any, or more actually, than any physical poison.
Így érthető, hogy az embernek nem csak a testével kell foglalkozni, hanem az érzelmeivel és a gondolatainak a tisztaságával.
So that's why all traditional medicine like Ayurveda and all of them teaches all the time that if you want to get healthy, the first thing you have to look at, it's not only your physical states and how to help those, but so most and foremost your state of your spirit life, how your spirit is, how the spirit feels in the body, how your soul feels in the body, and only then look how your body feels. Because most of the time if your spirit feels awesome in your body and your soul feels awesome in your body, and you remember that you are those and not your body, we have a body, right? English grammar. We not say I am the body, I've never heard that. So we have a body, which is a beautiful thing, but if you want to treat the body, we always and foremost, we only need to work with spirit and soul, and then if there's something remaining, then we can still work on the remaining physical issues or symptoms.
És természetesen erről egész nap lehetne beszélni, de mi most lerövidítjük ezt, és egyedül a kezünkről akarok még beszélni párszor.
Of course, we can talk about from now on all the day about that. If you are interested after that presentation or a little bit introduction, because we only can open a little door on that topic. Come on, we can talk about that. We can have lunch together, whatever you like, and talk about more, because we could, and there's a lot to talk about more, especially if you ever experienced or in your family or anyone. So, but today I'm going to close soon, so I just want to talk about my hands or your hands a little bit. Where is the oil now? Please give it on for all the people who haven't experienced yet, that we talk about.
Explain again.
CBD oil. What you have there, what's your name?
Johan,
Johan. Where are you from?
Austria.
Austria, thank you for coming. So Johan has in his hand one of those, the thing that he's talking about today, the beautiful effect. I would call that so God's love in one form, which called today CBD oil. It's a one form of our creator's love. So please try it, and you can put some so spray in your mouth, right? How we use it? What használjuk?
Spray,
Annyi alá?
igen.
Under your tongue. Hányszor? How many times? You can try 3 times. So 3 times under your tongue, just to have a little bit of experience. Don't worry, it won't have effect on your. So it doesn't have THC level. So you won't feel like dizzy or whatever. Don't worry. It's not smoke. It's not like smoking cannabis. We already talked about. You weren't here then when we talked about the difference between smoking cannabis, which is good to help you in a certain state to get a little bit better emotionally time to time, but then you don't need that any longer. Also, that you don't need longer if you well. But if you really will get imbalanced and you use it, you can get back your balance way faster. Whatever imbalance we talk about, mental, emotional, or physical. That's one of the biggest gifts because that directly affects in the brain. Your if you spray anything under your tongue, especially if it's a pure rich terpene, this one is very rich in terpene, it goes under the tongue and goes straight to the brain because the brain can only allow these little particles called ether. So what you have in that, there's also ether. There's oil, there's ether inside, and the ether part goes straight to the brain, straight to the nerve system, which calms your nerve system immediately and help your endocannabinoid system rest and gives energy to that, and you it feels better, and so can get a balance way faster back in your system.
Tehát az indiai 5 őselemtannak megfelelően mindegyik ujjunkra jut egy őselem.
Please look at your hands. You have 5 fingers, and if you look at them, in the Ayurvedic medicine, they always thought that there is 5 elements that you should never forget. Everything made of these 5 elements. Wherever you look at, everything made out of these 5 elements in a certain mix.
És mi mind az 5 őselemre csináltunk egy olajat.
And we created with my friends for all the 5 elements a special mixture of oils and ether.
És amelyik itt körbe megy, a fókusz.
This one, which is here, I don't know where it is now. Please give it on for those who haven't tried yet. Guys, you can also try. You just arrived. What we're talking about, and later on, Dr. Frank Christmas, that's his real name. You can ask for the presentation, so you can learn about what you can just try.
Ez az éter őselemnek az olaja.
Called Focus. So that one, what you can try now from the 5 different mixtures, is called Focus. We give that name to. From the 5 different main elements of planet Earth, it's ether. Ether is the first or the fifth? Az első vagy az ötödik az éter, szerinted?
Olyan szerint a harmadik.
By fingers, ether, look at your fingers. Ether element is in your middle finger. It's in there. I mean, there's a meaning. If you get harmed, for example, I get harmed here, a dog bite me, and he said it was for a reason, so something was going on that when I was a child. So anyway, you can learn a lot about what's happening with your fingers and where you have pickles, pain, whatever. Or you can also affect your endocannabinoid system or your system itself through your fingers. That's why in the Indian, if you remember in India, they have different hands. You can use your hand differently, so your energy, you can work on your energy field, and these elements enhance them. If you have lower on fire, for example, which we discussed already, when you get sick, you get lower on fire elements. You can use those signs to get better, but that's not what he said. We have only 5 minutes left, so let's go on. Ether, middle finger.
Tehát a lényeg az, hogy sorba elmondom gyorsan az éter, tehát a középső ujjunk az a szaglás, nem a hallás,
bocsánat. It's for listening, hearing. Let's connect to the ears and listening others and our listening ourselves, listening others.
A mutató ujjunk az a levegő őselemé.
Is the
levegő őselem.
It's the air element, air.
És a szaglás.
And for smelling what's going on in a situation. Hey, what's going on?
A hüvelykujjunk.
Our thumb.
Az a látással és a tűző őselemmel áll kapcsolatban.
It's connected to fire. I'm on fire, man! That's why we do that, because that's truly connected to the fire element, and és mivel? Mi volt a physics?
Látás.
And this is to see yourself, see the world around you, and I really see who you are, not a body. for the soul and the spirit. So we are well, because we remember who we are. Fire.
Gyűrűsúlyunk a föld őselemén,
This is where we put the ring when we got married to connect us to the planet Earth. So that's Earth element, grounding ourselves in a relationship, right?
és a tapintás bőr.
Stability and touching, caressing, and taking care of the planet, the animals, everything else. So Earth element.
És a kisúlyunk a víz őselem.
And our tiny little finger is the water element in us.
És az érzés, íz.
And of course everything which is connected to our emotions. The water in us, the informational brings the, and also taste. So taste and emotions are deeply connected.
És egy nagyon egyszerű gyakorlatot mutatnék be ezen az ábrán. Egy koreai természetgyógyász létrehozott egy ilyen kis eszközt, ezt súlyoknak hívják.
A Korean naturopathist created a very simple tool he called shuyok.
Ami egyébként a súlyok,
Shuyok means
a koreai nyelven
in Korean,
kézfej, lábfej jelent.
hand and feet, the head of the head of the palm, so the fingers, and the head of the feet, so the fingers.
Ez tulajdonképpen egy terápiás eszköz, de hogyha
It's a
használjuk,
therapeutical instrument.
ha használjuk, akkor érezzük, hogy melyik ujjunkban vannak kellemetlen érzetek.
When we use it, we feel immediately. Bocsánat, kérek egy kis hangerőt, mert nagyon hangos a zene, ami ide szól.
Lehet hallani? Lehet?
Jó. Csak azért nem toltál már nagyon.
Szóval, hogyha azt érezzük, hogy bármelyik ujjunk fáj, vagy kellemetlen érzés van, differenciáltan valamelyikben, és elkezdjük használni azt az olajat, akkor javulni fog.
So it's actually not a thing. It's a method that if you feel and you give a bit of attention for your fingers time to time, which finger you feel a little bit heavy or that's a real diagnosis. I mean, you can diagnose yourself, or any naturopathist who has that knowledge of shuyok method can diagnose yourself just through your fingers, how you feel, which fingers it has a tension in, for example. For example, me, I have often tension in my tiny finger, and I didn't know why. Now I know, thank you so much, why I'm holding my tiny finger always a little bit like that, and I have a bit of tension, like muscle tension. Now I know, because I'm emotionally probably not, I'm tense, right? Now I know, because that's emotion. So if you learn how to give a bit of attention for what's going on in your hands or feet, and in the fingers, then you get a very straight answer for which field of your elements or self you can work on.
Tehát tulajdonképpen például a kisújunk fáj, akkor a víz őselem zavaráról van szó,
When we have a pain like I had in my tiny finger,
aminek megfelelő
I have an imbalance in the water element in my body, which is
olajjal
emotion.
tudunk támogatni.
Then we can use as a solution that we created water mixture, so I can support to get back in balance the water element in my body through the endocannabinoid system with the help of the oil of CBD.
És maradva ennél a példánál a víz, a legerősebb CBD olajunk.
Lejárt az időnk. Sajnos később tudtuk kezdeni, mert nem volt technikailag előkészítve a színpad, nem tudom ki ezért a felelős, de 15 percet veszítettük az előadásból összesen azért, mert nem tudtuk vetíteni. Elnézést kérek a következő előadótól, ez nem a minimál.
Amit itt végigpörgettem, az ez az 5 olaj, amit most nem tudok bemutatni.
Would like to show you, visszalépsz egy pillanat, vagy csak megmutatom? Mert hogy nem a minimál volt ez a 15 perces késés. So we have five. What I would like to share with you quickly, because we have to give the stage for the next presenter. Visszalépsz el az 5-re? Csak gyorsan elsorolom, mert nem mutattuk rá. So each 5 element, if it's out of balance, that causes imbalance, that causes illnesses, that causes every bad thing we will be, however, you cannot get rid of. So the easiest way to affect yourself and get back, of course you have to work in every possible way, but you know what to work on if you go to a naturopathist or search for Mr. Frank Christmas, so Dr. Karácsony Ferenc, and help you to what you have problem with, and ez a te rendszered amúgy, ugye? Már ugye az egész, amit megmondom. So what you have to know that this knowledge that Mr. Frank Christmas shared with you today is not yet anywhere else on planet Earth. So it's his system. He created that system that he's showing you today based on these old Ayurvedic Chinese basic medicine of elements. That's a brand new thing. That product you cannot find online. It doesn't exist yet anywhere else because it's a brand new, based on his research and healing from cancer with this beautiful way. And he believes that he got sick because he had to help also others to heal from cancer within 30 or 3 months period of time with that method. So water has a mixture earth, element, fire, air, ether, depend on which area you have an imbalance with.
Aki a részletekre kíváncsi,
Who's interested in
az valóban
details, please contact me. There's a QR you can copy, and you can contact me anytime. Thanks for the attention. For more information, my book and the bio, Quantum Academy it's called, Faculty of Endocrinology. Endocrinology. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful time in the Island of Freedom. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, please come to us next to the stage. Follow us. We can have lunch together, whatever you like. And thank you so much for being here. And have a beautiful time during the Sziget Festival.